Sponsor, I too was going to ask what specific imperial evidence you relied on to craft this bill. I've heard you say twice that you've got the packet in front of you. Would you please read to us the titles and authors of the studies in front of you?
Gentleman from Jefferson 28.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. Abrams DS, estimating the deterrent effect of incarceration using sentencing enhancements. Alper M. Duros, M. and Markman, 2018 update on prisoner recidivism. Anderson, the aggregate cost of crime in the United States. Anderson, Code of the Street, Decency, Violence, and Moral Life in the Inner City. Antonageli, Recidivism of Prisoners Released in 24 States. Apple and Horney, How and Why Does Work Matter? Batten Hill, Contribution of Gang Membership to Delinquency Beyond Delinquent Friends. Berger and Scheidegger, Sentence Length and Recidivism. Federal Sentencing Reporter. Braga, Pulling Levers, Focused Deterrent Strategies and the Prevention of Gun Homicide. Braga, Policing Gun Violence, Strategic Reforms for Controlling Our Most Pressing Crime Problem. Braga, Can Homicide Detectives Improve Homicide Clearing Rates? Braga, Problem-Oriented Policing, Deterrence, and Youth Violence. Braga, the Strategic Prevention of Gun Violence. Braga, Focused Deterrent Strategies, Effects on Crime. Brannis and Cheney, a difference and difference analysis of health, safety, and greeting vacant urban space. Brannis, vacant properties and violence in neighborhoods. Brazina, Agnew, The Code of the Street, a quantitative assessment of Elijah Anderson's subculture of violence thesis and its contribution to youth violence research. Brunson, Focused Deterrence and improved police community relations, criminology and public policy. Carter, homicide process mapping. Best practices for increasing homicide clearance. I believe it's Cassell. What caused Chicago's homicide spike? Cassell. Protecting crime victims and state constitution. Chalfin, Hansen, Lerner, and Parker. Reducing crime through environmental design. Chalfin, Hansen, and Williams, Police force size and race. American Economic Review. Chalfin, LaForest, and Kaplan. Can precision policing reduce gun violence? Evidence from gang takedowns. Chalfin, are U.S. cities under-policed? Theory and evidence, the review of economics and statistics. Children who live in unsafe communities. Kids Count Data Center. Clark, making the most of second chances. Clear, TR, the effects of high imprisonment rates on communities. Coates, beyond the code of the streets. Cook, Kang, Braga, again, if you can believe that, Ludwig, O'Brien, an experimental evaluation of a comprehensive employment-oriented prisoner reentry program. Cook, Ludwig, the real costs of gun violence. Cooley, Strickland, Quill, Griffin, Stewart, Bradshaw, Furholden, community violence and youth, affect, behavior, substance abuse, and academics, clinical child and family psychology review. Corman, Moken, a time series analysis of crime, deterrence, and drug abuse. Casaro, most challenging of context, criminology, and public policy. Casaro, reducing risk of homicide in Indianapolis. Coder, length of incarceration and recidivism. Coder, length and incarceration and recidivism, Washington, D.C., United States Sentencing Commission. Crawford, the case for cops, 3.0. Curry, self-reported gang involvement and officially recorded delinquency, criminology. Del Pozo, Knorr, Mello, Chauflin, comparing risks of firearm-related deaths and injuries among young adult males in selected U.S. cities with wartime service in Iraq and Afghanistan. Engel, Tillier, Corson, reducing gang violence using focused deterrence. Evans, Owens, cops and crime. Fout and Hope. Does cognitive behavioral therapy work in criminal justice? Fowl, Peitzer, Nebbit, Loam, Yu, Veladis, Newsransky. Exposure to community violence and depressive symptoms. Examining community, family, and peer effects among public housing youth. Garvin, Brannis, Kadem, Selman, and Canusto. More than just an eyesore. Gowert, Myths and Realities, Understanding the Recent Trends in Violent Crime. Greenbaum, Tita, The Impact of Violence Surges on Business Activity. Guerra, Raoul Huseman, Spindler, Community Violence Exposure, Social Cognition, and Aggression among Urban Elementary School Children and Child Development. Guilty, The Collapse of Criminal Justice, Richard Hefner's Open Mind. Haspel, Homicide Rate per 10,000 Population. Heaton, Hidden in Plain Sight. What cost of crime research can tell us about investing in police? Heeland, Tabarrok, Does Three Strikes Deter? Journal of Human Resources. Hip, Tita, Greenbaum, Drive-bys and trade-ups, examining the directionality of the crime and residential instability relationship. Holder, Kirchengast, Cassell, Transforming Crime Victims' Rights from Myth to Reality. Huff, Criminal Behavior of Gang Members and at-risk youth. Irvin, Erickson, Lynch, Gervis, Moore, a neighborhood-level analysis of the economic impact of gun violence. Sorry, I lost my place. I'll start over. No, it's a bit.